Inside Foos presents FoosTalk Live.
Hey Foos fans, it's Rob Madas here. Just letting you know, if you want to stay in the loop, you need to listen to FoosTalk Live.
The patriarch of the first family of foosball here in the United States, of course, and a great player, a world champion. In fact, all of the members of his family, it seems, are world champions and World Cup champions as well. But we're privileged to have with us tonight Mr. Terry Rue. Welcome, Terry.
Thank you, Jim. I'm happy to be here.
It's FoosTalk Live.
You talking to me?
Compelling and lively banter.
Are you going to talk to us?
Talking foosball.
Foosball was how I measured my value as a man. You took that away.
Players and fans, promoters and pros. Unedited and raw.
Talk.
Living in the moment.
We have a lot of important things to talk about.
All while practicing social distancing.
Cool. We'll talk. No big whoop.
Let's get this thing started. FoosTalk Live. Coming to you live from the studios of Inside Foos and The Beach. It's the 61st episode of FoosTalk Live, brought to you by InsideFoos.com, offering monthly subscriptions with access to some of the most exciting matches ever recorded, plus live tournaments, pre- and post-show analysis, interviews, and original programming. Sign up now at InsideFoos.com. Also brought to you by ProtectoFlex, the world's premier safety accessory. Go to Protecto-Flex.com. Brought to you by 518 Prints, one of the best printers of promotional items, t-shirts, hoodies, and foosball apparel. Visit 518prints.com. Brought to you by Foosballers, the movie. The Joe Hessling foosball documentary is now available at for a worldwide download at foosballersthemovie.com. Also brought to you by United States Table Soccer Organization, the USTSO, helping to usher in a new era of competitive foosball. Become a member at usafoosball.com. And brought to you by Foosball Clubs USA, promoting foosball through school systems all over the United States. Visit foosballclubs.usa.com to make a donation today. And welcome once again to FoosTalk Live. I'm Tom Robinson. Here we are for the 61st, this is the 61st episode of FoosTalk Live. I happen to be live in the studios, and Jim Stevens, the lucky stiff, he is doing his job as the greatest play-by-play announcer in the world at the Beach Town Beatdown. Jim, welcome to FoosTalk Live.
Hi, Tom. Hi, everybody. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Coming to you remotely from beautiful Lake Worth Beach, Florida, where we've been here at Lilo's on Lake Street in a really cool beach town down here in South Florida for the Beach Town Beatdown. And it's been a really super fun weekend for sure.
Yeah. Now, I understand that Mark was with you earlier this weekend, and that he was, basically working in the test kitchen to see the long-lasting after effects of something called the Mauler, which is a new drink.
Yes, it was actually a drink that was designed specifically for this event by Midori Kimura, who is, of course, a world champion and a bartender. And she created this drink, which had several different things in it, including habanero, chili, watermelon, ginger beer, and a little bit of vodka as well.
Oh, my.
Mark had a few of them. And, of course, if you said the word Pepe to any bartender here, you got a free one. And so I forced one of them down. They were actually quite good, if you like that kind of thing.
Did he
go
broke? Did he go broke giving out free drinks?
I'm not sure Mark can go broke, but
okay.
he definitely, I'm sure, probably 10 or 20 of them. Yes.
Oh, nice.
There were a lot of people who used the code word Pepe.
Okay. And you heard it right here on FoosTalk Live. Exactly.
That's right.
Yeah. So how are things going as far as the tournament itself? What's the latest, greatest there, and what's still to be played?
Well, we still have the open doubles final coming up here in just a little bit. Open singles final, I'll get to that here in a minute. But, this is a different kind of tournament. Texas State, 444 players 2 weeks ago, a lot of work, a lot of really competitive matches. All the best players in the world of tornado foosball just about were there. This one, of course, we've got the high-end players. But this one may be a little bit more fun. It's a party kind of disguising itself as a foosball tournament.
Right.
So some interesting things happened. Everybody having a great time. They capped this event at 80 players.
Yeah.
I think they have 12 tables here in Lilo's, which has been jam-packed all weekend long. By the way, Lilo's has great food. I got to tell you, I've had probably 6 different kinds of tacos, a great salad, sliders. I mean, the food here is as good as any I've ever had at a foosball tournament. And the other libations aren't too bad as well.
Yeah.
But it's the kind of tournament. Here's a couple of things for you, Tom. It's the kind of tournament. Tommy Atkinson is here. In fact, Tommy Atkinson has been at every tournament so far this year that I've been at. But it's the kind of tournament on Friday night. Tommy Atkinson in a match against Blake Robertson in open singles actually called 5 timeouts in the second game of their match. And he bought 3 of those from Blake, actually paid him for him right there on the table.
I didn't know you could
and
do
bought,
that. Is that
bought
legal?
3 extra timeouts.
Buying timeouts. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, this is a new phenomenon. Have we ever seen this before?
No, we haven't. And if anybody's going to buy him, it's going to be Tommy. But it's the Beach Town Beatdown. And that's kind of become my mantra. It's the Beatdown, all right? It's a different sort of atmosphere. Now, the other thing that happened yesterday in the losers bracket final, and you can watch all of this, of course, at InsideFoods.com. Really entertaining losers bracket final in open singles between Tommy Atkinson and Tony Spreederman. Both of whom, shall we say, were enjoying themselves quite a bit.
I see.
And Tony Spreederman ended up winning the match to advance to the open singles final 4-1.
Ooh, wow.
And so they decided to play 4 out of 7 and Tony came out on top. So this is the kind of things that have been going on here at the Beach Town Beatdown. Mark and I having a great time while Mark was here. He left earlier this afternoon, but having a good time. And watching some great foosball as well.
Sounds like a custom modified alternative kind of scene.
Yes, no, for sure. And Tommy Brewer and Luke Watson and company, the promoters of this event, really encourage everyone to have a good time, and they certainly have been.
I love it.
And to update you on the open singles final took place about an hour ago. Let me give you a little backstory.
Sure.
If you go to the Inside Foos page, on Facebook, you'll see an interview that Mark Torres did right before the winners bracket final of open singles yesterday. It was Blake Robertson versus Tony Spreederman.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so Mark's doing the interview, and he asked them. He says, "So you guys have played each other a number of times. How has that gone?" And Blake, who was leaning on the table, looks up at the camera and says, "I've never beaten Tony in singles ever."
Okay.
And I'm guessing they've played 50 or 60 times, probably at least, right?
Sure.
Sure enough, he comes out in that winners bracket final and beats Tony for the first time ever, just after doing this interview with Mark. And so to reach the final. Tony then defeated Tommy Atkinson to get back to the final, which was held about 45 minutes ago. I guess it was completed.
Mm-hmm.
And Blake in that final put on a show. It was in 3 straight games, he beats Tony in the final.
Wow.
And really in a high-speed sort of game, 15 minutes, he was scoring from goal. He was scoring push kicks, pull shots. Everything seemed to be working for Blake Robertson, who comes out on not only did he beat him yesterday for the first time, he's got a 2-match winning streak now against Tony.
Wow. And of course, this is probably with all the accoutrement that come with being at the Beatdown. Now, did he buy any timeouts during this event?
There was not I don't think there was a single timeout called the entire match. Both guys were having fun, although Blake, it was obvious during the course of the match, Blake wanted it more. We'll put it that way.
Oh.
It meant a lot to Blake to be able to finally beat Tony yesterday and then to win this championship today. And he played like it. He played an amazing match, which, again, you can watch at InsideFoods.com.
I love it.
And so it was a lot of fun. And now we have the open doubles final coming up here shortly. It's Tony Spreederman and his dad, Bud, from Foosballers fame. Going up against Blake Robertson and Tommy Atkinson. That's going to be on here within the next hour. They're going to get that one started.
Well, that'll be exciting.
Watch it live at InsideFoods.com.
Absolutely. And kudos to Keith Glenn, who's been sitting by your side there doing some play-by-play this weekend. And I guess he also won the rookie open doubles.
He sure did. Yeah. And a great performance. He and Jimmy Love ended up winning that rookie doubles last night in a really strong performance. And Keith, who is on the Inside Foos team, we kind of broke him in doing some interviews at Texas State. He worked the open singles final, Tommy Orr versus Tony Spreederman with me. And now this week, we've actually been giving him the reins to do a little play-by-play as well. When I'm not on the mic, he is stepping in there and doing some of the quote-unquote lesser matches.
Yeah, this is what we need, right? Progeny, that those are following in your footsteps and learning from the best. That's really the way it goes.
Yeah. I suppose, and giving me the occasional break as well.
Sure, absolutely. Well, we also have someone who is stepping into some shoes this evening for Mark Torres. We have with us all the way from Michigan. We have Michael Stahl. Michael Stahl, welcome to FoosTalk Live. How are you, man? Michael, you with us?
What up, fellas? I got a dead bar long. I got a rolling straight. I got a 5-bar hack, and I ain't taking no bait. What's up, buddies?
Well done,
Wow.
Michael.
That was even better than Mark. I got to say that was nicely rehearsed. Very well done.
You know, I just speak brilliance. I can't really handle myself sometimes, guys. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Hello.
I should go.
Who is this?
Is this Mark Torres impersonating Michael Stahl? Come on now.
Oh, I love it.
No, that's exactly what I was trying to do, guys. Happy to be here. Thanks for inviting me on for another show.
Sure, absolutely. Now we understand that you had a little foosball action in your neighborhood today as well. How'd you do?
Yeah, man, I did pretty well. We had a monster DYP. It was my mom's birthday. My mom used to be a good player back in the day, as well as my dad. So it was a good time at the local Lansing Foos Club.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
But to answer your question, I think I took first place.
Oh, nice. Okay. And did you have to buy any timeouts?
So I considered it after watching last night's performance. That was really sweet, man. I gotta say it was pretty awesome watching Tony just shoot a pull kick, and against Tommy. That was pretty deadly, man. I gotta say.
So he changed it up for the occasion. I love that. That's really cool.
They were having a good time, and Tony, and actually Tommy before the match said, "I'm going to beat Tony here. I'm going to beat him," because Tony's had a couple of beers. Yeah, it didn't matter. Tony was still amazing. Right. He was shooting the pull kick, like Michael says, and he's got a really good pull kick.
Yeah, especially the one that he does with the was it the far wall pass, and then it's in the hole within what is it, like a half a second or something.
He tried a quick strike. Yeah, he tried one. I don't think it went though.
Okay. Well, all this talk about foosball is making me powerfully thirsty. What Jim and I like to do right about this time is to reveal our favorite IPA. So, Jim, I know that you've got access to a variety of things to drink. What exactly are you partaking of at the Beatdown?
Yeah, they have several things at the bar. Some of them canned, some of them bottled, and then on draft. I actually have a double IPA out of Cigar City Brewing up in Tampa. Nice. It's called the Florida Man. IPA, double IPA, Florida Man. Florida Man drinks an IPA, a double. It's 8.5% alcohol. It's quite tasty. It's delicious. I've already had about a half of one. And as we sort of lube the pipes for that open doubles final coming up.
Oh, I like that. Lube the pipes, yeah?
I'm actually standing outside the bar here talking to you guys, so I can't have a beer in hand. But I do have one sitting there waiting for me when I go back in.
Well, here's to it then. This evening I'm also sampling something. It's actually something a company that I've tried before, Wooden Robot Brewery. They're out of South Carolina, I believe, or North Carolina. Yeah, it's actually Mosaic. Let's see, Charlotte, North Carolina. Oh, yeah. Sorry, but Wooden Robot, and this time we're having some urban farmhouse Juice Island. Juice Island is the IPA, 7% alcohol, and I can actually sample it on air. Oh yeah, now I wouldn't mind being stranded on this island. Wow. In the spirits of being on the beach. There you go. Juice Island. Love it. Well, Michael, what are you partaking of?
Well, gentlemen, I am partaking in a great value brand, purified drinking water. It is purified by reverse osmosis.
Reverse osmosis?
That's important. Yeah.
But is that a process by which we can, So, okay. Now, this week's Honor Group of the Week, of course, because in honor of our special guest this evening, who, by the way, is Lindsay Albert, is going to be joining us shortly. Our Honor Group of the Week is Tampa Bay Foosball. And, of course, Tampa Bay Foosball has got up one of the deepest talent pools of any foosball club in America currently. And, of course, it includes the likes of Tony Spreederman and Lindsay and so many others that we recognize. Tommy Orr.
Yeah, I think we can confidently say that Tampa probably has the strongest upper end player base of anywhere in the world.
Oh yeah.
When you talk about the Orrs and Tony Spreederman and Bob Diaz, who's mostly retired, but and several others as well. Midori Kimura, of course, but very strong in Tampa. So saluting them. Cheers to them.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Cheers to here down the hatch. Mm-hmm.
Cheers. Hey guys, I have to say it's probably controversial to say this, but hey, I'm playing Mark tonight. I would say that it's probably the strongest foosball scene to ever touch the face of the earth. Tampa Bay.
Wow.
That's strong words right there. That's saying
Yeah.
something. But I think you're probably right. I don't think there are too many people that would argue about that necessarily.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know that strongest ever. Maybe that's what we did. The strongest ever player bases in the history of the sport. Because then we would look at Denver in the late 70s, early 80s. We'd look at Minnesota in the late 70s. There's a few other contenders, I think, for that title, Michael.
Oh, okay.
But I do like the way you went out on a limb a little bit, and they would certainly be in the conversation, no question about it.
Well, it's always good that we have someone who's willing to be on the show and be extreme, especially when Mark's not here. I love that.
Yeah.
Makes a big difference.
Trying to liven it up, guys.
I love it.
So for tonight's flashback, I thought perhaps we could get shall we say, a recent piece of history on FoosTalk Live Flashback. With great moments in foosball history, this is a FoosTalk Live Flashback.
Absolutely thinking about that.
All right, it remains match point for Maggie Strong and Heather Beswick. Bounce pass by Maggie. And she closed the deal here. She sets up for a shot. No, she doesn't, and Maggie does. Maggie Beswick, Maggie Strong, and Heather Beswick have won the 2021 Beach Town Beatdown Women's DYP Championship Final. Congratulations to those two ladies. What a performance, especially from Heather. And Maggie, of course, solid and strong, no pun intended. And Heather Beswick, with at least 6 from goal, contributes offensively as well. All right, we've got a champion, and it's Maggie Strong and Heather Beswick. We'll have more finals for you, including the open doubles and open singles finals coming up for you here at InsideFoos.com here in a little bit.
Listen in next time for another great moment in foosball history. It's FoosTalk Live Flashback. Now, when we say great moments in history of foosball, I mean great recent moments in this case.
That's about 3 hours ago. Yeah. And I do hear that I got to turn down that the ambient sound there a little bit in the background. That was, although that's kind of how it's been this weekend.
Yeah.
It's been kind of noisy. It's been boisterous, and that's kind of our experience this weekend at the Beatdown.
No, I think there's something to be said there because the excitement, of course, you can hear some of the music too. Of course, we tried not to let that get through because, of course, of the BMI ASCAP fees. We don't have to pay those fees and playing that music, but that's just the risk you take, and that's the ambiance of the play there. Wow. And when was the last time you saw finals where the goalie scored 6 points?
Yeah, it's been a while, and Heather did that also. She played in the regular DYP final with Tom Yore, and I think she picked up 4 or 5 there as well. And I had never met Heather or heard of her before this weekend, but she was very impressive.
Nice. Oh, very cool. Yeah, I recognized Charlotte Ellis on the opposing side. She and I played. I believe it was maybe amateur singles. In Texas, at Texas State. Okay. She's a very good player. Very good player.
She is. Very, very good player. And a player who really played in the late 2000s and had some success, including, I think, a non-pro world championship, but then retired for 10 years and is coming back. And I think she's going to be a factor moving forward.
Oh, no doubt. Oh, yeah. She's definitely got a really smooth 5-row. Really smooth.
She does. Yep.
Well, I got to say that it's amazing that you can be standing there on the beach doing FoosTalk Live, and of course, celebrating the fact that this is a non-traditional, shall we say, tournament, but at the same time be here. I greatly appreciate by the way.
Yeah, and I've got only a couple of minutes. I've got to go in and do the open doubles final, which will be available, and I don't want anyone to leave listening to FoosTalk Live. But later, you can access that at InsideFoos.com.
Well, I think before
that should be fun.
I'll be watching it, and I'll be on the show at the same time.
I love it.
Cool.
Perfect. Yeah.
And before you go, Jim, I thought maybe you'd like to say hello to our special guest this evening, Lindsay Albert.
I sure would.
Yeah, Lindsay, are you with us? Lindsay, are you with us?
Oh, hello. Are you there?
Yep, we're here. Lindsay, welcome to FoosTalk Live. It's great for you to take some time out to chat with us.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Say hello to Jim and, of course, Michael.
Hey, Jim. Hey, Mike. What's going on?
Hey, Lindsay. Nice to hear from you. Yeah, it's great that you're on tonight.
Hey, I'm I'm not in Florida where I live for the beatdown, but I'm on a family type day. So,
Oh, cool. So you're on vacation in South Carolina. What part of South Carolina?
I'm in North Myrtle Beach, in the Barefoot Landing area, if you're familiar with that.
Oh, yes. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Do you play golf by any chance?
I do play golf. I'm not very good at it, but I do play.
That seems to be the place to go these days. Certainly Myrtle Beach is a great place, a great location to find some great coastal golf for sure. Lindsay, can you hear us?
I don't know, man. I love putt-putt. Putt-putt's so sick down there.
Putt-putt's cool. Yeah. Is that what you do, Michael? Yeah. You try to hit it through the clown's mouth. Yeah,
I'm all about the putt-putt.
The putt-putt. Yeah, it's that is the way to celebrate on a family vacation, no doubt about it. I think Lindsay is I think we might have lost her signal temporarily here. But
technical difficulties. So
yep.
And I've actually got to jump, guys.
Sure.
And get back to work here at the Beatdown. We've got a few more matches to go tonight. In what has really been a great weekend of foosball. And I want to remind everybody also, in a couple of weeks, we'll be at the National Championships, the Tornado Nationals, the IFP Tornado Nationals in Denver. And we'll be live with you starting on Friday, which I believe is the 25th of June. And we'll be at InsideFoos.com all weekend, bringing you all the action from that great event. And that's shaping up as a good one. It looks like the turnout's going to be good. A lot of the big name players will be there. So join us at InsideFoos.com if you can't make it, but we'd love to see you there live as well.
Yeah, that's going to be a great week. June 23rd through June 27th in Denver. And and we'll also have to talk very soon about the upcoming world record attempt with Com Kickern, August 26th through the 27th. We'll as we get closer to that day, we'll be discussing that quite a bit as well.
Yeah, and for sure, and let's not forget about the Bardo Hearn celebration at the end of July, which again, Inside Foos will be covering. It's an event that I'm so proud to be a part of. And looking forward to celebrating the lives of all the fallen Foosers, including the man who founded that event, Joe Kuntz,
right,
at the end of July in Austin, Texas. So, great. Have a great show, guys. Great to hear you, Mike. Thanks again for all you do. And I think I'll see you at the Nationals in a couple of weeks. And Tom, keep up the good work, buddy. And, and say hi to Lindsay when she comes back on for me.
Hi, Jim. Bye, Jim.
Oh, there you are.
She's back. Very cool.
Sounds good, Jim. Thank you,
Jim.
Sir.
All right, guys.
Break a leg,
guys. Have a great
fun.
Great shape.
Catch you later.
See ya.
So Lindsay, welcome to FoosTalk Live. Of course, this is the first opportunity you've had a chance to chat with us. It's tradition to really find out where it is you come from as far as foosball goes. So take us back. When was the first time you saw a foosball table, and how old were you?
Oh, man. I do have one distinct memory of my first maybe outing for foosball. I was about 6 years old, maybe.
6?
I would say 6. I believe my mom took me to a bar tournament in Cincinnati. My mom is Lisa Pride. If you don't know that, she plays as well.
Right.
And I remember being a kid in a bar playing foosball at about 6 years old. But I started going to the tournaments regularly when I was about 12.
Mm-hmm.
So 25 years, I would say.
25
years ago.
So you're a second generation foosball player then?
I am, yes. Both of my parents played. Yeah.
Now, do you feel that there's an advantage to that? I mean, is it something that it's hard to say. You probably would have found foosball eventually, but you found it so early at the age of 6. Now, when was the first time that you actually had a chance to compete?
Funny enough, my very first partner was Michael Stahl's dad, and I was probably
Really?
Yep, I was probably 13 or 15, and we were in Kentucky, and he wanted to play designated mixed, and he let me, as a beginner junior girl, play for him. And I think we did very well. I can't remember that far back, but I believe we actually took second or third in designated mixed back then.
Yeah.
And I had no idea what I was doing.
You guys actually took second place, and I think that my dad tells a story, and my dad blows it up I scored 10 from the back in a row each game. No, you guys played awesome, and I remember him telling me about that, and it blew my mind when I heard about it. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was my first ever tournament that I remember playing in. So that was good times.
Second in the first tournament ever. That's pretty amazing. Now, have you always been a forward?
No, I've played goalie most of my life. I've just switched to forward position the past couple years.
Okay.
I do prefer to play forward. I work on my forward game much more. But either is fine depending on the partner, I suppose.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Now, of course, you're a big part of the Tampa Bay crew. What's it like going to play there at a DYP?
Yes. Well, it's different because I do run our Friday night tournaments here.
Yes.
We generally either do monster draws or a bring here. We don't usually do open DYPs. Our very good players that we have in this area tend not to come out for the open DYPs, unfortunately.
Okay.
So we get a better turnout with the monster DYPs or a bring. But the talent is exceptional, whether they are lower ranked from beginners all the way up to the masters. We have so many good players here, especially ones that don't even tour, that have played forever.
Yeah.
They just don't tour yet.
Oh, the names.
I got a question for you, Lindsay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got a question for you, Lindsay.
What's up?
So hey, do you feel like DYPs are good for the sport?
I personally like DYPs. I don't mind playing. I don't really care. Maybe that's because I'm not the top of the top, but I don't mind if I play with a beginner. I don't mind if I play with, a master. It doesn't matter. I think you're going to learn either way, and I think you're going to be able to teach the other people some things on the table, that they wouldn't normally know, or if they would not normally play with you. You get to learn a little bit of everybody on the DYPs.
Well, that's a very noble response. I think that DYPs, I think that they're not good for the sport, man.
No?
I think that
Really?
No, I don't think open DYPs are good for foosball. I think that monster DYPs are. I think that if you have if you have a local crowd and you're always going to have like a handful of people that just cry about drawing the worst person there, and then it's just a bad experience for the worst person there. And I've seen people show up who just had that sparkle in their eye, right? Like we all did, like we
Absolutely
do. And then they totally lose it, man. They're like, man, this guy's a jerk. Like this is a terrible experience. It's just the worst. DYPs are horrible for foosball. That's why I think that kicker tool is so important. That's why I think that the software that Warren Van Landingham Jr. has come up with, foosball leagues, is so important.
Yeah, I tend to agree with what you're saying about the monsters. I really like them, and it gives you a chance to play with everybody.
Yes.
I mean, at least a few different partners, and it's a little bit more of a fair system, and people don't complain as much.
Yeah, no, we've seen great success since we took on the Monster DYP, and it's not every single week, but it is certainly something we do here in the 518, and it's improved everybody's game. Everybody's stepped up, and it's more exciting. Just to make it to the finals is an achievement. It's a blast.
Absolutely.
So, how long have you been doing the working in the promotions ends of things here, Lindsay?
I've always kind of leaned towards that wherever I've lived. I'm from Columbus, Ohio. I always helped run a tournament there when we would have one, like with Steve Biney, my mom, Mark Benetti. They run the tournaments up there.
Right.
And then I lived in Wisconsin for a short while, and I ran the tournaments there as well. So I've always just kind of like leaned towards that, and I've done it for about 5 years here after Rob Cadle stopped promoting.
So, and that's to have been increased quite a bit. You guys have seen some pretty good turnouts.
Yes, we have great turnouts. We also just landed a new venue, which Rick Eno is a local pro here, very well known on tour as well. He got a new spot for us, and they got some new tables in there, and so it's drawing out a lot of people that don't normally come as well. Man, if everybody showed up, we would have like 40 teams, but it doesn't work like that. People have things to do sometimes, so they don't always show up.
Sure. But still,
is that
40
Papa
teams,
Beer?
Man.
Papa Beer, it's called. Yep.
Right on.
Just a little hole in the wall. It's awesome. Little hole in the wall bar. Got some good music in there. Sometimes good music. Depends on the karaoke night.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're playing 4 or 5 nights a week.
Wow.
One of our other local guys, Gabe, runs monster draws 3 or 4 times a week, and I do Friday nights when I'm off work. So we have 4 or 5 nights a week that people are going out to play right now.
That's impressive. That's really amazing. So what specifically is happening for beginners?
Can you say that one more time?
So what specifically are you doing for beginners? Any specific events like no pro events or that kind of aspect?
When we we do handicapping most of the time. When we do a bring, most of the time it would be a handicap.
Okay.
We don't have too many actual beginners around here. There's maybe like 3. Most of them are at least. We kind of combine systems as far as what people are used to with the IFP software, but we kind of put it on our own scale a little bit too, because we have all these people in Tampa that have played for 30 years, and you just can't let them play as a beginner. Like they're just too good just because they don't tour.
Yeah.
So we maybe have like 3 or 4 actual beginners in our area.
That's amazing. It seems like the polar opposite of some places. I know that in Buffalo in the 716 they have a specific night just for beginners, and they get 15, 20 people to show up typically for those kind of nights. Which it seems to be the dilemma, right? How do you keep people interested once they get the bug? As Michael mentioned, they eventually get tired of getting their butt kicked, and they're getting frustrated sometimes. Perhaps the monster DYP is a way to solve that, but it seems like almost like you have to have a step league. So you start with a beginning league and you get really good with that, then move on to the pros or the top league or whatever the case. I don't know if that's being practiced.
Yeah, there's a couple scenes that are doing some pretty similar, interesting things. Dallas right now, Dallas-Fort Worth. Jason Wicks, they're running Warren Van Laningham's new software. Well, it's not new, but it's good. It's really good.
Okay.
And they've got a handicap version of the Monster DYP. It's basically a fairer version of the Monster Draw. And I think that's really the future of foosball, guys. I think that we need to stop doing just straight up DYPs because it's fun, but you draw the worst person and then you're all bummed out. But you could draw a really great player and it'd be a good night. So I don't know. It just levels everything off. And I gotta say, Linz, I think that you're doing a great job down there, man. And it's really easy to get burnt out. And I've been promoting in Lansing at the Lansing Foos Club for a couple of years now. I think going on 3 years. And a year in, I was like, oh, this is the worst. Because it's a thankless job. And people complain and they make it a little harder to have that good attitude about it. But I think you're doing a great job.
Oh, thanks, Mike. Well, I mean, I do love it. Like I said, I've, been around doing this for a while and I do love it. It is tough sometimes with the complaints, that's just part of how it goes. And I actually decided to not do it a couple weeks ago when we started at Papa Beer, or maybe like 2 months ago. And they roped me in. They were saying, no, people aren't going to come if you're not out there. So I was like,
they
okay.
Wouldn't let you quit.
yeah, it wasn't happening. So it's a good thing. And I do like it. So it's awesome to be a part of.
Now, here's a question.
That's a sign of a good promoter. So.
Yeah, really, absolutely. Now, here's a question for both of you because you're both in the promoting game. First, you, Lindsay, tell me what is your favorite memory of shall we say a foosball tournament, whether it be on the tour or not? What's your favorite tournament memory, and where was that?
Ooh, man, put me on the spot. So I do have a favorite. When I was playing. I think it was when Nationals first started doing the team events. Okay. Which crazy enough, I'm struggling to get a Florida team for Nationals, even though there's so many people going. But I'm struggling to get a team made for that one. But probably I think it was 2013. I led the pack with all the boys on the team and won us an amateur. I think at the time it was an amateur team event for Wisconsin at the time when I was living in Wisconsin, and everybody hailed me a hero. So that was pretty cool at the time. Yeah. That was a fun memory.
Very cool. And Mike, what was your favorite memory? What's your favorite tournament memory?
Like tournament I've played or promoted?
Well, either one.
Man. That's kind of hard to say, honestly. I gotta say it's probably my first World Championships. Sticks in my mind, over anything else I've ever done. Even though the World Cup was pretty sick, but I gotta say 2012 Worlds, man. I won semi-pro doubles with Dylan Marshall, and I know Lindsay, you know Dylan really well.
Oh yeah, that's my buddy.
Yep, he's a local dude in Tampa, and the dude is just insane. I mean, if you watch him play, it's ridiculous. The dude is a master. But yeah, we won. I was 16, he was 17. We won expert dubs at Worlds. It was amazing. It's got to be it.
So that's your most favorite memory of touring or being out in a tournament.
Yeah, it's got to be, man. I mean, That's my first big win. It's got to be.
Now, you guys obviously had to learn from other people when it comes to promoting. So Lindsay, who was your idol? Who did you copy or who did you learn from most when it comes to promoting foosball? Was it something I said?
You there, Linz?
I think we lost.
She may have cut out. I'll take the question though while we wait for her. She'll be on in just a sec anyway, probably. What was the question?
So basically, I wanted to know who did you learn from, because you didn't start out as a promoter. How did you get into the game, and who actually was your model? Who'd you learn from?
So that's a really good question, man. I gotta say, I was never really into promoting until the scene in where I grew up and always played kind of died off. Like, they weren't really playing as much in Detroit. Grand Rapids fell off completely. I'd have to drive over an hour to play any kind of foosball. So really? I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start promoting, and I would say Matt McCory was watching him do what he does out there in Buffalo really inspired me to,
yes,
I can probably do this. Like he's a great promoter, and I love new people getting in the game. I want this game to be huge, and I want us to battle for huge cash prizes, and living off foosball is the goal someday. And I don't care what people say, we're going to get there.
Do you think there's room for more promoters?
Absolutely. Everywhere there needs to be more promoters. Specifically, people just getting new players in the game. I mean, there's always going to be a group of dudes that get together on a Saturday night in someone's garage or basement or maybe even the bar. But yeah, we need more structured organizations, man. We need Foosball Clubs USA to get huge and work on the foos clubs and do the club system like Jim always talks about, because that's really the future of the game. We can get there, and people don't know it yet, but it's going to be huge. I always say this.
I think it would be fascinating to go with what USTSO has kind of tried to blaze the trail, where you're in a league system and you're compared against everybody else across the country as a member of your local squad. And then you earn points, and then of course you end up with a championship at the end of the year, where everybody competes against everybody else from the different squads. That would be a lot of fun, and make it an event where anything goes. So
here's the trouble though, is that we've got all these people in all these different organizations trying to make foosball big again, but we all have full-time jobs. I mean, we all have lives. And so it's like if there were ever a concentrated effort where someone could say, you know what, I'm going to do foosball full time, and promote it and play it and make it big again. And there was a group of people that I could all do that at once. I mean, we would get there quick.
Right.
But the issue is that we all have lives. It's you got to make a living somehow. So it's really complex.
No, I get exactly what you're saying. That is the dilemma that we're facing in locally and of course nationally as well. But it seems like there's this energy now that you and I both witnessed at Texas State Championships, where the pent up demand and the eagerness to get out and compete again just exploded. It was just palatable.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, it really was. And to watch just the excitement and just the kind of energy that took place. And then, of course, the intense matches that took place at Texas State as well. Just amazing. So I wonder, Lindsay, are you with us again? Or have you?
Can you hear me?
There you are. Okay.
Hey, there she is.
Yeah,
Hey.
Yeah. I know we're taking time away from your vacation in South Carolina. We
It's okay.
apologize for that. But as we were talking
But
about,
it's okay.
yeah, just basically when it comes to this idea of getting a league system together, what are your feelings about that? And do you think the USTSO is on the right track?
I mean, I think they're on the right track, but I agree with Mike that there's, too many people have other things to do, and it's hard to spend all your time to organize something like that and have it be like a team effort, I would say. Everybody tries to do their own things, and somehow it needs to be a team effort or a group effort where everybody is in it together.
Mhm.
We're trying to do a small thing here. It's called Pits. I believe they're starting in Ohio as well.
Okay.
It's like a professional indoor tournament sports, I believe it's called.
Yeah, yep.
I know they're working. I wasn't sure about Michigan, but I know Ohio, we're doing one. We already had our first tournament, and it's essentially a club that you join for the area. $20 a year, and the money directly into other tournaments. More of those tournaments we have, we build up the cash to put it back into bigger tournaments and bigger payout.
Gotcha.
It worked for the first one, but we have to progress and see if it keeps on going and working well. I actually plan on releasing in the next week or two for another tournament. So hopefully it keeps going and works out and grows here in the Tampa Bay area, at least.
So during COVID, this downtime, quote unquote, during this last year, what exactly did you do? And was there a time when you guys didn't play?
I definitely didn't play as much as normal, but I did spend a lot of time with Midori.
Mm-hmm.
She's one of my friends, and we spent a lot of time with the intentions of getting on the table and playing. Did do the Corona challenges when that came about.
Okay.
And some foosballs into the toilet paper and into the Corona bottle and having some fun with it. But yeah, it didn't honestly play too much. It was kind of like a little bit of a setback, I think. But now everybody, like you said, is eager. They want to play because everything's starting to get back open, and you're going to see large turnouts at these tournaments.
You think no, Texas State's was 440 players. You think that's going to be beatable? You think there's going to be another tournament that size in the next year?
Yep, it's called the World Championships. Watch it happen.
Absolutely.
It's going to be 600 players strong.
Really?
Maybe 650. You heard it here. And I'm winning pro singles.
We're gonna. This is being recorded, by the way. We'll be able to play this back at any time.
All right.
Yeah. I hope you win. I definitely.
You gotta manifest stuff, guys. I believe in the law of attraction. Yeah.
Hey, you got to get girls that are winning all the boys events.
Right.
In Midori.
I got to get by Midori first, man. She beat me in Texas in pro singles. I believe it was pro singles, and I think it was maybe she got me meat nut. I don't know. Maybe she got me 5-3. But yeah, dude, she's deadly.
She's strong. Well, she and Sullivan, of course, it turned out a great performance as well, going against Cindy Head in Texas. That was unbelievable. Just amazing. What a combination. And it's so encouraging to see the younger players, especially like Sullivan, to step out and be so good so soon.
Oh, she's amazing. She is going to be like one of the best, if not already the best, I think that we've ever seen.
Yep.
Yeah, she's such a cool person to talk to, man. If you take a sec to talk to her, she's kind of shy, but if you take a sec to talk to her, she's super down to earth and really cool, just like your dad. I mean, it's not really a surprise.
So, Lindsay, how does a person of that age, because you started early, how do you face being that good that early? I mean, how does it play games with your head? I mean, what do you do?
Man, I tell you, I was playing at her age. I was playing at 12 and a little bit younger, but I never took it that serious until I was probably more like 18, 19, maybe even 20.
Okay.
So I wasn't so dedicated so early, and she's been practicing her butt off since she was a little girl, and it's paid off because look at her now.
Yeah.
She's winning everything,
Yep.
She's doing great, beating everybody, the girls, the boys. She's killing it. And Midori is too. So I would love to be on that level. I can't say that I practice enough I hope to be there because I feel like anybody would do is I aspire to be Team USA because I am
right.
red, white, and blue all the way. I would love to do it.
So cool.
Lindsay, you're second gen, man. I'll see you in the finals. You're deadly, man. You're gonna be great. We just gotta. It's all about dedication, and it's hard to be a good promoter and a good player.
That was my next question, actually. How does one handle the fact that you want to be a great player, you are a great player, and yet you're also dedicated to promoting? How do you find the balance?
Very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is. It's just when you're playing on the table. Like I help run some of the other tournaments too. I help run Florida State. I've helped Mary at a few other tournaments since I have some experience with the software and things. When you're behind that desk to go play foosball, there's something in the back of your mind that's saying, "Oh, I should be making sure everything is getting done on the other side." Right. So it's very hard to concentrate fully.
Well, I suppose maybe having a good support team might help, having people that you can trust when it comes to running the tournament properly and smoothly. It seems like quite a team effort anyway. So if you could
absolutely
take the time out to play. I noticed in Texas State's, they used a new software program called Modern Foosball. It seemed pretty good. I mean, I have nothing to really compare it to other than IFP, but it seemed like everybody was getting a chance to play, including Steve Murray, one of the main promoters there in the room. He seemed to be able to play foosball without too much difficulty.
Yeah, you got to understand, Steve's been doing that for a long time at a high level. He's one of those guys that he's like a unicorn. I mean, like it's super tough to do both. And that man has done both. He was a master before he was a great promoter, but he's done both really well for decades now.
So, Lindsay, the question I was going to ask you before I asked Michael was, who inspired you to become a promoter? Who did you learn from when you first started doing this? I know it's something it must be what I'm We've lost Lindsay again.
We need to know.
We will get the answer to that question. Just stay tuned. But so Michael, what's for you? You've got Michigan State coming up, and
yeah, man.
So how's it going there?
So this is a tournament that I've really been trying to make happen for a while now, and I've had a ton of support. So I've been really lucky to kind of get it going. Hey, Lynn's is back.
She's back. Lindsay, I don't know if you heard the question, but I wanted to ask you, who inspired you to become a promoter? Who did you learn from?
Can you hear me? I
can hear you now. Yeah. Are we coming through?
Okay. Sorry if it's a little loud.
It's cool. Not a problem. So who was the person that inspired you, or basically how did you learn to be a promoter? What example did you use?
I was trying to answer that earlier, and I'm trying to think back on when I first started. Honestly, I think I learned mostly from watching the guy who promoted the leagues when I lived in Milwaukee.
Okay.
We had so much fun doing that, and it was just a local guy that ran the tournaments there, and I just loved it. And I just kind of fell into it. I don't know. It was just natural for me to do. So I don't know that I actually learned from somebody to do that.
Huh.
I just kind of fell into it and taught myself, I guess. I don't remember anyone ever saying, "Oh, this is how you do this," A, B, and C. It just kind of happened, and I've stuck with it ever since. So I'd have to say that I do love how Jason Wicks runs the tournaments down there in Texas.
Yes.
He's awesome down there. Obviously everything. He's great with the computer aspect, everything.
And now Tornado Foosball. TornadoFoosball.com is, or Tornado Valley Dynamo is his employer as well. So that doesn't hurt.
Absolutely. Of course. Yeah. I talk to him every now and then, ask him a question. So he's definitely somebody who, I like how he runs things, and anybody would be great to model their tournament system after theirs.
Now, guys, and I'll put this out to both of you. Do you think there should be like a manual that's turned out? As if you wanted to be a promoter, you would follow this model? I mean, somebody should write a manual or some kind of directions for others who want to follow.
That's tough, man. I wouldn't say that there's a manual. I think that it's different everywhere. I will say that I do have a pretty cool piece of memorabilia, and it's a Dynamo How to Be a Promoter guide, and it's from the Dynamo era. One of my good old school buddies sent it to me, and it's pretty cool. But no, I wouldn't say that there's a manual. It's not really like a catch-all situation. Every scene is different.
I think just knowing how to run charts in general, like if you can follow, the Sweet 16 in basketball and understand how charts work, you can do foosball tournaments. If you can follow the process and get from point A to point Z at the end of the tournament, I think you're good to go. You got to learn how to get the money, make sure everybody's paid, make sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing, get all your ducks in a row,
Right.
I think there's some basics like how to stay organized for one, how to be positive with the people around you, and just be able to run a chart, period, so you can get through those matches and make sure people show up on time.
Right.
Problem.
Right. Yeah, getting people to the table, right? That's I know that there were several occasions when in Texas, even though things ran really smoothly, I think it was twice now that I went to a table and the person never showed up. But even with the best of technologies, I guess that's still a potential that can still happen.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely think that texting now big help for people who are using that. Hopefully that can be something to be even later, because it does really help.
Now I got to wonder, because this predates me, but when it comes to prior to apps and computers and all the kind of other stuff that helps us these days, doing all the preparation, of course, the running a tournament on paper, I got to wonder, have either of you ever had to do that?
I've absolutely ran on paper.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we used to do paper charts. That's how I started.
So this is probably the best way to learn it then. So begin with the bearskins and stone knives, and then learn to use the advanced tools later.
Yeah, any good promoter is going to have some software more than likely. But I started out with paper charts, and my dad used to promote in Lansing for a while, and he did paper charts. So that's kind of how I learned.
Gotcha. Second generation promoter, right?
Yeah, and player. That's right.
Yeah. Same thing for you, Lindsay?
Can you say that one more time? I think you cut out. I'm sorry.
Did Lisa ever promote foosball?
I don't recall her actually like running the tournaments or anything like that when I was growing up and going to tournaments with her. She may have had a hand in it. Can you hear me?
Yep. Now we got you. It's been cutting it out. Sorry about that. It's
sorry.
It's the technology we have to live with. Unfortunately, it's not the perfect thing. But so no, Lindsay, when's the next time you're planning on getting out to play?
I'm going to nationals, so next week.
Gotcha. Yep. Nice. That's going to be a big week, like you say. Expecting quite a few people in Denver. What do you think, Michael? You going to be at nationals?
Yeah, I'll be at the national championships. I'm going to try to hit as much as I can this year, and try to do all those different things that we're trying to do with Inside Foos and being a player, being a promoter. Yeah, absolutely.
And Lindsay, at nationals, who are you going to be playing with?
I'm playing with Pam DeVito from here in Orlando in women's doubles, and then Dusty Bambanek in the classic women's.
Oh, wow. I've heard of
nice.
Heard of Dusty for sure. Well, that sounds like
yes, absolutely.
Yeah, sounds like a lot of fun. Now, what are you currently ranked as?
I'm a pro in women and an expert in men's. Gotcha.
So more than likely take out more than 3/4 of the guys in the room. Correct?
I would love to do that. We'll see what happens. I would love to do that. Mike Stahl, you're on my list.
Oh no, I need to be nice to her. When I see you, I'm buying you a beer. I'm gonna butter you up so you don't smash me.
Okay, sounds great.
Well, Lindsay, you got to say, first of all, you're so kind to take time out of your vacation to spend time with us in FoosTalk Live. We do greatly appreciate that. And certainly hope that Myrtle Beach is good to you. I hope the weather stays nice. Are you going to be there for a while?
I'm here for 5 days. We'll hope it's just as good as the sunny Florida where I came from. So different kind of beach here.
Absolutely. Well, we'll let you get back to your meal and your time there, and please enjoy. But thank you so much for appearing on FoosTalk Live.
All right. Thank you for having me, and come down and see us in Tampa Bay.
Oh, we will. And we'll
Thanks,
leave the door open for you here at FoosTalk Live anytime you'd like. Come on back.
All right. I'm down anytime.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Take care. Have a great vacation.
Bye. Thanks.
So, Michael, this is great. I think that you've just picked up the gauntlet.
Final.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
After
this
everybody
is Lindsay, you're still on. Tom, your situation.
Yeah, it's let's see here. Hold on one second. I think we got that.
There we go. There we go.
Okay, yep, we're cool. So anyway, it's great to hear from Lindsay. Yeah, she's
go.
She's now no longer on the air. We just muted her out of the mix here. But yeah, so
I gotta say, Tom, yeah, Linz is a great person to have on here, and it's been really cool talking to her.
Yeah, she really is an awesome figure when you think about being a player and a promoter in one of the hottest pools of talent on the planet down in Tampa. That's really, really extraordinary. Be great to get down there and just play a DYP sometime, just to see what it's like.
Yeah, man. If you go down to Tampa and you play a tournament there and you throw a rock, you're gonna hit a world champion.
Yeah,
I mean,
no doubt.
It's pretty amazing down there. And I like I said, I got to give it to Linz. She's doing a great job, and she's a Midwest kid, just like me.
Sure,
absolutely. She grew up in Ohio, and she's my Ohioan neighbor. I believe, her mom, Lisa Pride, was a legend, and hello again, Lindsay.
Yeah, we've got her muted on this end, so I can't hear what she's saying.
Yeah, we've got a big grudge with Ohio. So just because you're from Ohio, I'll let that slide.
So Michael, let's talk about Michigan, because that's what's happening for you. Again, what are the dates for Michigan States, and what are you putting together?
So Capital Area Table Soccer and Foos Gadgets have teamed up with the Greater Lansing Sports Authority, and we're going to be running the Michigan State Championships out there in Lansing, the capital of Michigan. It's an international airport. Not as easy as flying into Detroit or Grand Rapids, but we're going to be running it in the capital of Michigan at the Causeway Bay,
Nice.
October 22nd through the 24th. It's a really nice hotel. It's a 3-star hotel. It's not like a fantastic hotel, but it's a good one. It's a good place to start.
Sure.
And they've got a really beautiful ballroom, just really amazing space. They're giving us way too much space. We don't need as much space as they're giving us.
Okay.
So we're going to spread it out real good. The main event is going to be Great Lakes Super Singles.
Super Singles.
So basically you get into this. It's one game, race to 7.
Okay.
And that's it. It's just one game, and it's double elimination.
Race to 7. Okay.
One game race to 7. So you got to make every point count, and it's handicap.
Oh, wow.
So it's something else, man. It's gonna be really cool. So anyone can win this event. That's the beauty of it. That's what I've been doing at my local tournaments, is handicap singles, one game race to 7, double elimination. It makes the Masters play their best game.
Right.
It really does. It's almost stacked against the Masters. So I'm personally going to challenge any master that wants to come to this tournament. Well, if a master wins this event, I'm going to be surprised.
Give us an idea how that works, because handicap, I understand you get extra points as a lower player. Is that how it works? Now, is that what exactly is going to be happening for your super singles?
So super singles, it's going to be, I believe, masters will go to 8, and don't quote me on this. I think it's masters go to 8, pros go to 7. Let's see here. Experts go to 6, amateurs go to 5.
Wow.
Rookies and beginners 4. It's something like that. I got to get the breakdown.
Right.
I don't know exactly specific. I couldn't tell you specifically, but the idea is really cool, and a lot of people enjoy it. And it's been having people come up, because people are so afraid to play singles locally.
Sure.
So I decided to do the handicap singles, one game race to 7, so that no one's complaining about playing singles.
Mm-hmm.
And it's worked out really well. And I'm going to have sponsors for the event. My sponsors are going to be Oriole Nutrition, It's a nutrition shop in my local hometown. And then the Nut House Sports Bar and Grill. It's the Nut House is where we play our local tournaments in Lansing, and they're going to be sponsoring as well. So we're working on more sponsors too. We're 4+ months away from this, and the flyer should be out July 1st.
Oh, nice. And when was the last time Michigan State's actually was held?
Yeah, great question, man. Michigan State Championships was held in 2014 at the Doubletree in Detroit.
Okay.
And I believe over 125 players showed up, which was kind of a weak turnout. I mean, Michigan State has always been a really great tournament. All those top players, Todd, Tony, Terry Moore, even a lot of those guys would show up Michigan State's every year, and it was a huge event that they would have. We would have like 250 players show up. I mean, it was always a really good state championship.
So it really kind of
and
fell
I think
off.
Lindsay, yeah, I remember seeing Lindsay there a couple times. Yeah.
And so now that you're bringing it back, are you getting a good response so far?
Yeah, I mean, I've had people from Costa Rica hit me up saying, "Hey, I really want to make this event," and people from all over the place. I'm probably going to have Jason Wicks coming out to stream it. Bearded Wonder Streaming is probably going to come and cover the event.
Okay.
And so we're going to really have some pretty amazing things on deck for that event. I'm hoping to have every table in the pits have a Foos gadget on it, and we're going to have smart goals on all the pit tables. You're going to be able to see how fast your shot is, how fast your reaction time is, be able to play with the Tom Spear technology with training and stuff like that. So it's going to be a really good event. Like I said, we're at a decent hotel in Lansing, which is, not terribly high class, but it's a good place, a good start, and the ballroom is beautiful.
Nice. Very, very cool. Well, I mean, I wish you the best of luck with that, man. Bringing it back, it's since was it 6 + 2, 8 years since the last tournament for Michigan. That's a long time. Sounds a bit like New York State. We've had the same kind of issue. I think the last time we did in New York State was maybe 2015, something like that, 2016. But it just, things fall off sometimes, and you have to pick up the pieces and do the best you can. It sounds like you're taking it on your own. Now, you have other people that you're working with to make this happen?
Oh, I've got a team, man. I've got a really strong team that's helping me make this thing as good as we can get it. I'm definitely not alone in this. I've got Aaron Croft, who's been a really big dude in the situation here, making this thing happen.
Cool.
So yeah, I've got several people behind the scenes that are going to be helping me make this event. Fantastic, awesome. Really great, well ran event. We're probably going to have like 20, 25 tables. I mean, it would be amazing to have like 200 players show up, 250 players show up. So that's kind of our goal.
I know it's early in the game before it's actually happened, and still 4 months out. But what's the toughest thing about putting this together? What's the hardest part of this?
The hardest part is it's got to be waiting to see how well you did. I mean, you can promote it as much as you want and hope it's a huge success. But for me, that's the biggest thing. Is last year I had this event planned, and COVID hit, and I was just so devastated because I couldn't tell you how many hours I put into making this thing happen. And like literally blood, sweat, and tears to make it happen. We had to cancel it.
Wow.
So I think the hardest part really is just to get through the weekend and have a successful event.
Right. Yeah. No, I think that once you get to the other side of it, then of course you can start to, as they say, learn from your mistakes. The things that did go great, other things that didn't go quite so well, and then of course make those adjustments like you would with any good foosball player, making your adjustments as you go along, and then at the end you end up with a better tournament next year.
Yeah, that's kind of what we're hoping for, and I'd like to move it towards Detroit. Lansing is where I was born and raised, so it's really special to me to have it in Lansing.
Right.
It's the capital of Michigan, and it's the middle of the state where most people are going to be driving from the Midwest. I've got people from Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, Illinois, Kentucky, Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York, all people from all these different states have hit me up, and even players from Canada. I mean, the border should be open by then, so I'm expecting our northern brothers to show up. And
Right.
I always
It's been
tell
a
people
while.
I'm Southern Canadian.
Oh, no
That's
kidding.
what I
Yeah,
tell
yeah.
people. Because I mean, I
Southern
grew up playing
Canadian.
these guys from Toronto, Nutran, Sean Lee, Mario Nuzzi, Mario Arganello. I mean, all these guys would come down and play Michigan State championships back in the day. And
Right.
yeah, Canada's a huge proponent in the state tournament for us.
Oh,
And
very
I'm
cool.
hoping that the borders open and we can make it happen for them
No,
as
it's
well. Because they have been waiting to play.
yeah, right. That's something I hadn't really considered, that Canada has been kind of, well, like everybody else, is being cautious and safe and closed off their borders. And now, hopefully by that time, yeah, things will be wide open again and they can come on down and have some fun. That'd be really cool. Wait and see what happens, right?
Yeah, I'm definitely stoked and hoping it goes really well. I'm pretty nervous actually, to be honest with you.
Well,
I'm just hoping that people want to come out the fourth weekend in October, the weekend before Halloween. It should be a really good tournament. There's other tournaments before our tournament. Louisiana State's the week before us, but they're all the way down south. So
right.
I'm hoping the Midwest really decides to come out and support us, and we know it's going to be a great tournament. We're going to have a lot of fun with it. Probably have some World Cup tables there too.
Oh, nice.
And we're going to have, I'm hoping Sandy and Daniel Luares can make it down. Foosball Clubs USA, maybe John O'Brien. We're going to have a Foosball Clubs USA booth and maybe do some 50-50 raffles and support the kids.
Awesome.
As much as we
cool.
can. So it's gonna be a Master Series tournament as well. We're gonna try to get some qualifiers for France 2022.
Nice.
It's gonna be the last chance for people to qualify, unless Colorado has qualifiers.
Which is a much shorter time than last time, for sure, because of COVID. So much shorter period of time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see how that happens.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to try to qualify. That's been my biggest goal, is to try to make it back to the World Cup and taste that gold medal.
So, and this is my next question, actually. When it comes to the world record attempt is coming up August 26th through 27th. It's a full 24-hour period to see how many people in the world can play foosball simultaneously. So within a 24-hour period, it's being held by Com Kickern and Rico, who spoke with us on FoosTalk Live not too long ago from Germany about this idea. What are you planning to participate, and what are you going to be doing?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm getting a new job pretty soon here. Some things are going to change up a bit for me.
Cool.
But we're definitely planning on throwing a big one-day tournament. I believe, what is that, on a Friday or Saturday?
Yeah, it's I think it's Thursday into Friday. So it's
okay, cool.
Yep.
Yeah. So we're gonna
hours.
try to run a big one-day tournament at the the Nut House Sports Bar and Grill and try to be a part of this. Everyone should. If you listeners out there, I mean, you guys should run a tournament on this date so we can get this world record going. The more notice we get from the general public on foosball, the more people are going to gravitate to it and know its potential.
I'm predicting.
So we got to really,
I'm predicting from the previous episode. I predict 30,000 for a worldwide number of people playing foosball in a 24-hour period. That's my number out of a hat, but we'll see how close we can get to that.
That's pretty awesome, man. And hey, I got to mention, if the listeners out there, if you guys aren't subscribed to Inside Foos, I would highly recommend it. I've been doing my homework, man. I've been watching all these matches that have been going down, even some of my own matches, because I made the pits a couple times in Texas, which was pretty cool, even though I got smashed. I watched some really cool matches, and I learned a lot.
Yes.
And I've been, I'm a student of the game, and I've been trying to watch as much as I can, and it's so worth it, guys. If you're not already subscribed, you're helping a fantastic cause. You're helping foosball get big again. Yes. By subscribing to Inside Foos. It's really bigger than just subscription.
Yeah, no, I think that's case in point. Of course, Inside Foos TV for years has been a great source for learning because, of course, of all these accumulated matches that Jim has added up over the years. Being able to watch people from 2003 or 1993, for that matter, how they played, what they did to win major tournaments, etc. Always really educational. I think if you watch even a fraction of the videos that are there, you can really step your game up just by watching those videos. And that's not the only thing, though, about Inside Foos. There's lots of other things, of course, the live coverage. I've been going back and forth all day watching the matches at the Beatdown, which in Lake Worth, Florida. It looks like a lot of fun there. It's a totally different kind of atmosphere from what a normal tournament, but that's the way it's supposed to be. But I love watching that because of my subscription to Inside Foos.
Yeah, man, it's pretty awesome. I saw, like I said earlier, I mentioned Tony with the quick strike bull kick and watching him do his thing. He's not Terminator Styles Tony right now. I mean, he's having fun. It's the beach beatdown, but it's great foosball, man. It's almost in some ways more entertaining.
Sure.
Watching that losers bracket final between Tommy and Tony. I mean, you get so much from the subscription, and I'm not just saying that from like hey, I edit for Inside Foos perspective, which I do, but I'm saying it as a player. I'm saying it as a promoter. Like tonight I actually advertised at my Foos Club that we were going to be streaming the beatdown from my Xbox that I hooked up to the TV in the playing area, and which, sorry, Jim, if that's not okay, but I did it, and a lot of people showed up, and a lot of people really enjoyed it. I think I had 20 people show up, and we had people that ranged from beginner to high-level pro, and I had guys from Indiana show up, Campbell McDonald and his girlfriend, Allison.
Oh, I know Campbell.
Allison took second place. Yeah, I mean, they showed up. We had people from Detroit. We had people from Ohio. We had people from everywhere. I mean, it's pretty awesome. So that's one thing I always tell the promoters is like, hey, grab the subscription and use it at your local Foos Club.
Right.
And if you're not at the World Championships, have a Worlds party.
Sure.
And maybe stream it for everyone to see. I mean, there's so many different things you can do with the subscription.
Yeah, no, I like that a lot. And it's something that as time goes on, it's just going to get better and better with more and more matches, and of course being added on all the time, and of course more new shows as well, including things like FoosTalk Live. So, Michael, I think that you've earned your keep. You've done a weekend tournament, and you appeared on FoosTalk Live as a guest host. You've had a lot to do this weekend.
Hey, man, I'm just having fun. I love doing stuff like this, and it's been really fun, Tom. Thanks for having me, man.
You're very welcome. And of course, it's all about letting Mark recover from his Mauler weekend at the Beach Town Beat Town. I guess he was a taste tester for the Mauler this weekend. But and in the meantime, next week is Father's Day. So anything going on for you next weekend, Michael? Are you doing anything special for Father's Day?
So I mean, I always try to play a 3 out of 5 against my dad.
Nice.
That's kind of our tradition is we play a 3 out of 5, and I say, hey, Dad, we're playing for a can of soup, and I get 3. I generally get 3 straighted.
I love it.
If it's for some really good Campbell's soup, man, I get swamped.
Awesome. Well, it's I can't wait to hear what the results are of that one. For sure.
Maybe I'll live stream it for you guys to watch.
That would be awesome. We could check it out for sure. But we'll be celebrating dads and their sons, whether or not they play foosball. But we'll be celebrating Father's Day next weekend. And stay tuned. Of course, we wait and see if maybe we get some famous fathers and dads on, or fathers and sons on, or FoosTalk Live next week. But wait to see. At any rate, Michael, thanks so much. And thank you for tuning into FoosTalk Live, episode 61 with Lindsay Albert. And of course, thanks to Lindsay for taking time out of her vacation to talk to us on FoosTalk Live. Of course, Jim is still at the Beatdown, the Beach Town Beatdown this weekend, and he'll be back live with us next week, as we hope you will be as well on FoosTalk Live.
FoosTalk Live is a product of Inside Foos, all rights reserved. Brought to you in part by InsideFoos.com, 518 Prince, Foosballers the Movie, Foosball Clubs USA, and the USTSO. Tune in again next week for another episode of FoosTalk Live.
In the meantime,
We'll see you foozin'.